What's up, YouTubers? Your boy Alyx, man. Welcome to yet another. Let me take this off. Seem a little bit more professional. Another review for WWE Friday Night Smackdown, November 15th, 2019. We are, I think, a week away from Survivor Series. Yes, we are. We are a week away from the big NXT TakeOver Survivor Series weekend, where the brands collide. NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw. What did SmackDown do tonight to get us excited for that show? Almost nothing. But there were a couple of things I did like, and we'll talk about those things first. We're going to start off with the positive, and then end with the negative. So the first, 15 minutes will be positive stuff. So if you're that kind of wrestling fan, that WWE fan that's like, oh my god, you marks, all you do is complain, you can at least do me the favor of watching the first 15 minutes where I'll talk about the positive, and then you can hate on the rest of the video for all I care. But if you are watching me, thank you. I appreciate it. First off, like the video and help your boy Alyx, man, get to 30,000 subscribers by clicking that subscribe button and that notification bell. Also, while you're at it, if you really want to help expand the brand of your boy Alyx, man, you can do a couple of things. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at AlexManVX1, donate using PayPal, Patreon, Super Chats are officially on. We'll be structuring the shows a bit differently going forward, but right now Super Chats are on. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries and just questions in general. And of course, for a limited amount of time, while you still can, get yourself a Alyxman t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees. Let's give some shout-outs before we turn off the, pause the Super Chats. To the following people here, the early crowd. Let's see who we got here. We got Elias Ademi and UltraShow97, my two moderators, of course. First and foremost, Malik Hills, Adam Ritter, Cree Sherry, Austin Adams, Firestar Hart, Jet the Hawk. That guy's becoming a familiar. I think I've seen you in more than one podcast, Jet. Laurel Xavier, TrueFire901. Here come the real regulars. Joseph Winters. These are familiar names. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. There we go. Who else we got? Yeah, be sure to like the video, guys. Seth Rollins, 2018 fan. Pikachu Black, M223, Ghost Shadow, Juan Lopez, Jeremy Brown, one of my favorites, White Boy Groove, Alex King, JQ James. Let's do a few more. I think I said Jordan Williams. Did I say Jordan Williams? Okay, if I didn't, what's up, Jordan? You get two. Avengers fan 967. Yeah, right. 167. I don't know who 967 is. Maybe it's his alternate personality. Angel Club WWE, Cashapp Prince, Excel Bonella, and last but not least, welcome Immortal God. So if I don't say your name, it's not because I hate you. It's because we have a lot to get to. I don't want to be up here too long talking about this show that I thought was overall, it was a thumbs down. It was underwhelming, but there was at least a couple of good things about it that kept my interest. So let's talk about those things first and foremost. The first thing we'll talk about is the new championship design. Yeah, the Universal Championship is different now. We have a new title design. Guess what it is? I'll give you a big ass hint. It's the color of the sky. What? It's blue? Now, I should have said this for negative, but I'm pretty sure most of you clicked on this video to get my thoughts on the new championship design. So I guess the only positive I will say is that it looks better blue than red. I would actually take the Blueberry title over the Period title. That is the only positive I will give this. It looks better blue than red. Otherwise, this was complete and utter laziness. What is with these crappy ass title designs with WWE? Why do we have to have a solid color? One's red, one's blue. Oh look, the Cruiserweight title's purple. At least NXT gave a damn to make their championships look unique, stand out. And while the WWE Championship isn't all that spectacular, it at least looks good. The black leather with the gold plate, it's good. Basic, but it's good. It works. This is just lazy. It's the same actual design of the WWE title. It's just blue. Are people that nonchalant? Are people that lazy in your company where we can't come up with at least some kind of a unique design? But that's asking too much for WWE, right? I should at least be happy that it looks better blue, right? So I will include that as a positive. It looks better blue than red. But that's so goddamn lazy. I wish they would actually try to make a title design that looks cool, that fans will actually buy. But knowing WWE, they're probably telling themselves, these fans are too stupid. These fans are too dumb to actually think for themselves. They'll buy anything we'll give them. And more times than not, they're right. Sorry, fans. Alright, so let's talk about the NXT invasion. Yes, we had another NXT invasion on this show. In the Tag Team Championship match between the New Day and the Revival, we had the Undisputed Era, led by Adam Cole, baby! They attacked both tag teams, laid them out, and then we had the Jobber Squad of SmackDown come out and make the save. I'm kidding. Not really. But it was a nice segment. It was a nice needed shot in the arm for the show. And of course, later on, for Bayley versus Nikki Cross, which, by the way, when they first announced that, I'm like, why would you book this match? This is so dumb. Okay, so Nikki Cross has to compete for a spot on the Women's Survivor Series team when Lacey Evans didn't. They just added her in there because why not? Oh, I know why. Say it with me. Blonde hair, blue eye, apple pie. America! Anyways, she had to compete for a spot by... My bad. Got to turn off Super Chats. That's on me.
The show was mediocre at best, but that last segment was fantastic.
Oh, I agree. Like, no doubts about that. And, by the way, Super Chats are now on pause. If you donate, your Super Chats won't play into the midpoint of the podcast. But thank you, Spinosaurus, for that donation. We'll do the overall review of the show at the end, but for the most part, I agree. There were a couple of good things about it that kept my interest, but not a show I would watch again. But getting back to the invasion, didn't like the idea of Nikki Cross fighting Bayley, the women's title, to get a spot on the SmackDown women's team for Survivor Series. Because think about it this way. If Bayley beats Nikki Cross, she's not on the team. Then who the hell else do you have? So she was going to be on the team regardless. And then if she beats Bayley to get on the team, you just pin the women's title, the women's champion. So you should actually be in line for another title shot. Or it should have been the champion. Like, either way, it was just a bad match to book. But luckily, they didn't go through with it because midway through, not even like 5 minutes in, we had the women from NXT invade. Being led by Shayna Baszler, we had Shayna Baszler's opponents from NXT TakeOver War Games. Literally the 4 girls that Shayna Baszler is going to fight at NXT TakeOver aided her to attack Bayley. Like, I get it. NXT team is all one team. And I'm pretty sure this is the NXT's women's team for Survivor Series. So, okay. I get that. But still, like, I'm sorry. It just felt weird for every single one of those women to aid Shayna Baszler because they hate her. They are literally feuding with her on NXT right now. So why the hell would they aid Shayna? You could have had Shayna's team. Honestly, that would have worked better. Io Shirai, Bianca Belair. Who is it? Bianca Belair. Kaylee Ray. My bad. Kaylee Ray. And then Tanya Conte. Or Aaliyah. Someone else who's a heel on NXT. I don't know. Like, you could have done something different. And it would have had the same effect. This just muddied the waters. I don't like the fact that they had to... Again, yes, I admit that it's a nitpick. It's a major nitpick. But I'm a storyteller, guys. I am huge, I am huge on storytelling. And that didn't make any sense to me. It just felt weird. But I guess we'll chalk it up to Team NXT. Regardless, it was nice seeing Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, especially Rhea Ripley get some TV time. It's always going to be good for them in the long run. One thing I can say about this 8 women's tag match, we did do an 8 women's tag match after that. First off, nice bait and switch. We didn't do Bayley versus Nikki Cross. It was just to set up this 8 women's tag match, Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. The face-off between Sasha Banks and Rhea Ripley was really good. Matter of fact, they should do that match on NXT next week. No, for real. They should do Sasha Banks versus Rhea Ripley. Why not? It's the perfect time to do it. And I will say this. That would be the kind of match that would make me not watch it. It would make me watch NXT first and not watch AEW until the second run. So, hey, NXT, you want you a ratings boost? If you want you a real ratings boost, put Sasha Banks on NXT next week. Have her fight Rhea Ripley. Do it. Come on now. That's a pay-per-view quality match that I would pay to see, but I get it for free? Why would you not do that match? Last but not least, let's talk about the final segment. To me, the whole thing with Miz TV, Daniel Bryan, and The Fiend. First off, fantastic booking. Really good. Overall, it's real clear to me. If you ask me right now, who would win the Royal Rumble? Like, there's no one else I would have win except for Daniel Bryan. Why? Because he's the only one with a clear direction. So let's talk about that segment first, and then again we'll go back and go through the rest of SmackDown. But you gotta be crazy not to capitalize on this story. So The Miz comes out and gives us the usual, welcome to the most must-see television talk show on TV. Welcome to Miz TV. The crowd goes crazy. Woo! And invites out Daniel Bryan. Here comes Bryan. He sits in the chair and is silent. Doesn't talk. You want to know why? Because he hates Miz. First off, pause. Thank you for not having these two suddenly get along because they're baby faces. Well, Bryan is still technically a heel, I guess. Technically, he's still a heel, but they're not at each other's throats as much as they used to. And Bryan's been doing some good things, so he's somewhat on the same side. But regardless of how you look at it, they still hate each other. Thank you. There has been nothing about these two that should allow them to get along. So I'm happy they kept that. That was good. But Miz admits that they don't like... Miz came out and admitted it. They don't like each other. But he's just trying to get to the bottom of this. And he offers his own theory to why Wyatt sees Bryan's mental instability as a target. And he says he sees Bryan as a washed-up man. He's nowhere near as good as he was 10 years ago as Bryan Danielson, let alone 5 years ago with the Yes Movement. And he wants to be the one, the Fiend wants to be the one to end Daniel Bryan. That gets the American Dragon to rise up. And he says, look, the only reason why I'm silent is because I don't like Miz TV. Which was a nice burn. That was really nice. He says it sucked and it always sucked. But Miz is right. He is not the Daniel Bryan he was 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Yes, he is mentally unstable. But the one thing that is the same as before is his passion. The passion that had him overcome the odds and main event WrestleMania. And then we see Miz trying to cut him off, and then Bryan said, you shut your goddamn mouth. yells at him, "Shut up!" Didn't do the Vince McMahon thing, but "Shut up!" Saying that the passion combined with the mental instability caused him to abandon the Yes Movement and kick a man in the balls to win the WWE Championship. Miz can't understand that, but Bray Wyatt does. Cue the Firefly Funhouse. And then we see Bray Wyatt on the Titantron. Bray Wyatt calls him out for talking about him while he's not there and says maybe the Fiend was trying to scare him or to remind him that he just wants to play. That's it. He just wants to play. "Yowie, wowie," he says, opening a toy box and pulling out a manner of mundane and disturbing things, before finally getting to the new and blue Universal Championship. He says, "This is my favorite new toy." And all Bryan has to do is say the magic word. And then you hear the crowd silently going, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." And then Bryan says, "No, I'm not saying that word. I'm not going back to that gimmick," which got him booed. You know, that's so cool. Like, it really tugs at my heartstrings to see them play into, actual continuity and storytelling. He got away from the Yes Movement because he was unsuccessful with it. He actually held the WWE Championship the longest period of time he's ever done as the environmentalist Daniel Bryan, right? So why would he ever go back to the Yes Movement when all that has done is brought him pain and misery, and he almost lost his career with that movement? So of course it makes logical sense for him to go, "No, I'm not going back to that. Screw you." And I'm telling you right now that and I got goosebumps watching this segment. That is the kind of thing that makes people watch your show. Because now it's like, okay, is he eventually going to get back there? And if he does, how does he get back there? But we continue. Bray Wyatt's like, "Yes, yes, yes." And then we see all the members of the Firefly Funhouse, from Rambling Rabbit to, Abby the Witch, and all the other people go, "Yes, yes." And then Bryan says each time, "No, I'm not going back, and you can't make me. But if you want to fight, let's fight. Fight me in Survivor Series, but put that Universal Championship on the line." And then Bray Wyatt, in his own maniacal way, says, "You know what I have to say to that? Yes, yes, yes." And then he gets all crazy with it. "Yes, yes, yeah, yes." And then it just gets kind of disturbing when he keeps doing it. What I would have done with Bray Wyatt, just to kind of make it seem a little bit more crazy, I would have had it distorted as he kept saying it. "Yes," and then you hear him shaking his head. "Yes, yes," and distort it even more to creep out the crowd and creep out Daniel Bryan. I would have done that. That would have been a nice little touch. But what they did was cool. And then we just end the show with them announcing that we're going to do Bryan and The Fiend at Survivor Series. And then we end the show. That's about it. It was a little awkward following that. Personally, it should have ended with the Fiend going, "Yes, yes, yes." And then we had Bryan at the end of it say, "Is that it?" I think he thought the show was over. I think he, sorry, I got a text message. But yeah, I think he was assuming the show went off the air, but then we had a little bit more extra time. And so Miz went, "Well, Bryan versus The Fiend." And then the music plays and then he goes. So, despite the last 10 seconds feeling a little awkward, this was fantastic. And I'm very excited for this match. These two, if I'm not mistaken, had one of my favorite matches of 2014. Yeah, they did. Still to this day, Bray Wyatt's best match. And it makes sense that he would want to get revenge on Bryan, who joined the Wyatt family and attacked him, Bray Wyatt, from behind and broke away from him. So, once again, we're playing into storytelling. It makes me so goddamn happy. You have to understand, I am a junkie. A huge junkie. Okay, let me turn this off. I'm sorry, y'all. This cell phone's going crazy. I am a huge goddamn junkie for storytelling. I always was and I always will be. So when they do okay, I think we're good. Yeah. So when they do stuff like this and they connect the past of Bryan to, the past of Bray Wyatt and Bryan, that whole feud, to the modern story, it really makes you appreciate what they went through. It makes what they did back then feel even stronger, highlights that, makes that feel a little bit more special, because it actually had implications on the future. But, and then it does the bigger picture thing, which is help Daniel Bryan get back to what he was. Because what we're doing with The Fiend and Bray Wyatt right now, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Daniel Bryan right now, is it's basically creating a nice little stepping stone for Bryan to eventually get back to what he was, the Yes Movement. Now, at Survivor Series, when they get to Chicago, you already know how this match is going to go. Bryan's not going to win, but it's not about Bryan winning. It's about him showing heart. It's about him getting his ass kicked by The Fiend. And when he starts doing the Yes Movement thing, the yes, 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 the crowd's going to get behind it, and he's going to show a little bit more life, and then he's going to get that close. Well, he's not going to get close at all to beating The Fiend, but he'll get some offense on The Fiend, and then make it seem like, oh my God, he stood a chance. So, I'm excited about this match, because there's an actual story behind it, and there's actual implications for the future behind it. And I'm telling y'all right now, if you have anyone else in mind to win the Rumble besides Daniel Bryan, who is the only person that has a legitimate storyline, and that can actually make people give a damn about WrestleMania, it better be a better story than this. Otherwise, you're idiots. Don't go there. So, fantastic segment. Loved it. Completely made the second hour so much more better than the first hour. So, those are the only positives I have about this show. So, before we talk about the negatives, let's talk about, first off, let's turn on some more Super Chats. Let's see what people have donated to the show. So, Super Chats are back on.
Mrs. A Face-Eyed Bryan is a tweener.
Okay. Well, still, regardless of what alignment they were, they still hate each other, which I love. I love that we still have them hating on each other and not working together. That feels right. We got a couple more Super Chats in here that I saw. I want to let those two things play. I think that was it. Was that actually it? Because I thought I saw another one. Oh, no, because the other one was Spinosaurus' Super Chat, I think. Okay, so let me do a quick shout out of everybody else here. Saying hello to... Oh, no. Super Chat, never mind.
Did you hear about the football fight last night?
I saw that on Twitter. What was his name? Garrett? Myles Garrett? I was getting ready to say Jordan Miles. Yeah, Myles Garrett. I do remember that. He just took that man's helmet off and swung it. Now watch WWE try to sign him. For real, watch WWE try to sign goddamn Myles Garrett. Jordan Miles.
Also, did Bray pull out a dead baby out of his toy chest?
Yeah.
Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
Yeah, he did. That was kind of hilarious. Saying hello to the following people while Super Chats are still going. Sideways 66779, Victor Wilson, Switchblade Jordan Miles, Robert Kent, Victor Williams. Lots of Victor Williams. What's up, Victor? You was gonna get another one, buddy. Tried to sneak one in, did you? Alex King, Cree Sherry. Did I say Elijah Washington? I did not. Elijah Washington. Phoenix Ice 19. That's a new one. What's up, Phoenix? Spicy Lemon. King Rogers. I already said your name. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Trying to get another one in. Aaron Sherwood was the guy who donated. So Aaron Sherwood. See here. Raymond Fraud. Daquan is Savage. Toxic Banana 99. That's an interesting name. Toxic Banana. Lance Lewis. Let's see here. I think that's all the people. And then King Trawick. King Trawick. All right. So, I think, yeah, okay. So, the Beep Jr. There. Okay, now that one to come out. The Beep Jr., JR Buck, Kong Unlimited, and who's the other person that I just saw? A little bit of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. All right. Joe, I'm gonna get your name wrong. Joe Arredondo. Joe Arredondo. All right. And then Christian C. Okay. So thank you guys for joining me. If I don't say your name, you know how it works. Super chats are now back on pause because we're gonna talk about the negative now. Because I know some of y'all just like, oh, that I'm pretty sure SmackDown was a good show if you talked about it that way. No, it wasn't. Overall, the show was very mediocre. It was very skippable. The only good things that I talked about, you can watch for, guarantee you can see all this for like, what, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes on YouTube. 15 minutes of SmackDown out of 2 hours doesn't make for a good show. The 15 minutes that was good, it doesn't make up for the rest of the show that sucked. So no, I don't agree that SmackDown was good because, oh, well, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah. No, it was not good. And let me tell you why. Let me start off with this first opening segment. We had King Corbin come out. You know, the usual King stuff. He comes out on a throne with servants carrying him. And that was, I'll admit, as much as I don't necessarily dig the gimmick, that was cool. I do like seeing that. I dug that. I really did dig that. But then he gets on the microphone. And then he has Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode come out. Pause. Why are these guys together? See, the thing I enjoyed about Daniel Bryan and The Miz, and y'all can keep telling me that Bryan's a tweener. He's not really a babyface yet, but still, they still hate each other. Bryan is not necessarily a heel right now. You don't see them getting along. They still hate each other. And if Bryan was a babyface, they would still hate each other. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. Instead, we get the complete opposite here, where because they're heels, because they're villains, they get along. Like, oh my God. Why are people so goddamn lazy in this company, bro? Oh, we're going to get along because, I don't know. Like, why do y'all get along? Why are they a faction? Why are they a thing? Someone explain that to me. Oh, you can't. And neither can WWE. But whatever. Corbin comes out. And Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm trying to fix some things in the super chat. Alright, we're good. Alright. So, Corbin comes out, demands respect from the crowd before saying that his two compatriots have pledged their loyalty to his kingdom. Whatever. He talks about how he's proved that it is not the big dog's yard anymore. It's his kingdom. Oh, the kingdom puns. Kill me. And he announces that he's captain of Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. There are 2 weak links on the team, and tonight he intends to right that wrong by having Dolph and Bobby Roode, Robert, don't call him Bobby Roode, take on the team of Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable. I'm not calling him that other name. Chad Gable. And then the segment went from bad to worse when Baron Corbin, King Corbin, invites Roman Reigns out to the ring. And what we see next is a man in a dog mascot costume. It's a freaking dog mascot coming out to a remix of Roman's theme being barked with this high-pitched, yappy overdub, like Chihuahua barking. Ruff, 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 ruff. And I just was dumbfounded as I watched this and went, who finds this funny. What this isn't. This doesn't even get heat on Baron Corbin. It really just makes me turn off the show. I said that on Twitter. I said, I can hear people just changing the channel right now. What the hell was that? And then as soon as I said it, I went, oh, I know exactly what that was. We already know who was meant to be entertained by this. Vince. Bruce Pritchard backstage sat with Kevin Dunn. Oh, Richie. No, hold on. Oh, Brucey. What do you think Vince is going to want to see today? Oh, Kevin Dunn. I love me some Roman Reigns jokes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, these stooges are going to kill this show. But you know, Bruce Pritchard's like, oh, that is a great idea. We're going to have him. Oh, God. I don't even want to do the impression right now. It's so goddamn stupid. And within the first 15 minutes, I was already regretting turning on SmackDown. I'm happy I stuck through it to get to that second hour with the NXT invasion and then the final segment. But Jesus flipping Christ. What are they going to do when NXT stops invading the show? So seriously, ask yourself that. Imagine the show without the NXT invasion. Dear God. So then we move on. We move on. We move on to this tag match with, I'm not calling him that other name, Chad Gable, dressed as one of the Monstars from Space Jam. By the way, Corey Graves made a Space Jam's joke. He's a goddamn joke. With Mustafa Ali, by the way, yes, they did give Mustafa Ali his first name back. Thank you. Don't know why you took it away from him to begin with. But then we go into this match, and the crowd was quiet. Philly doesn't care about this match. No one cares about this goddamn match. Until Roman Reigns comes out. He gets a nice reaction. He ends up spearing Baron Corbin, and then helps his teammates, Chad Gable and Mustafa Ali, keep their spots that they already had in the Survivor Series match. So this match did nothing for me. It just went on long. It went on like what? At least about 20 minutes. Because like 30 minutes of this show was nothing but Corbin and this Survivor Series match stuff. And I'm just sitting here going, it would have been very beneficial if this match was to determine who would be on Team Roman or Team Corbin. That would have been cool. Alright, so there's implications to this match. If whoever wins this match gets to be on the team. No, Chad Gable and Mustafa Ali was already on the team. So, quite frankly, if Ziggler and Rude would have won, it wouldn't have mattered. I didn't care. I don't care if they're on the team or not, because I don't care about them. And that's the problem. We don't care about these characters. We started to care about Chad Gable until you turned him into a goddamn joke. And Mustafa Ali hasn't been doing anything. So at the very least, we know who Ziggler and Rude are. So this did nothing for me. Alright, so the guys keep the spots that they already had. Woo. It was a waste of time. Then we go on to Braun Strowman. Remember Braun Strowman, guys? Yeah, that guy. We had Braun freaking Strowman. Oh, boy. Hold on for a minute. We had Braun Strowman. Okay. I gotta ask this question. What are we doing with Braun Strowman? Let's just cut to the chase. I was gonna ask, what is the overall direction for Strowman? But no, let's just go straight to it. What are we doing with Braun Strowman? He had nothing to do on Raw. He has nothing to do on SmackDown. 2 years ago, this guy was the highest act in your company. Fans were begging to see him beat up Brock Lesnar and get that championship. Have a legitimate run, be a main event player. Never gave it to us. For some particular reason, they never gave him the title. Never. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out what was the point then of anything we've done with him. The guy, and some people can sit here and say, well, he's the new Big Show. Big Show is a former multiple-time world champion. Big Show's won the world title. He's won all the belts. Braun Strowman's only won, if I'm not mistaken, the tag team championship. That's it. What are we doing with Braun Strowman? At the very least, can we at least send him after the IC title? Well, they teased Nakamura fighting Braun Strowman for the IC title. I guess we'll do that match. But he's not going to win the title because we know what they're getting ready to do with Nakamura and Bryan. Because if I'm not mistaken, we're going to still be doing this whole angle where Sami Zayn, we'll talk about this in just a second. This was also stupid. Where Sami Zayn is trying to recruit Bryan, which means we're going to do Bryan versus Nakamura eventually. Why do that match when there's no IC title involved? So, Strowman is just a placeholder for Nakamura until he gets to Bryan. It's ridiculous what we've done with Braun Strowman now. He's a placeholder.
Daniel versus Shinsuke movement returns Amina.
I think everybody sees that coming, Psycho Walker. But yeah, this is a disaster. What they've done with Braun Strowman. It is a complete and utter failure on their part. And if they try to push him to the World Championship, no one's going to take it seriously. This guy lost to Tyson Fury, who's not even a wrestler. He's a joke. He's a goddamn joke. So here he is. Here comes Braun Strowman entering the ring to take out Drew Gulak, who I already hate on SmackDown. Send him back to 205 Live, please. He was more of a badass on that show. Or NXT or something like that. And the B team. They just got their asses kicked by Braun Strowman. For what reason? I don't goddamn know. I don't know. But I guess Braun Strowman is in the SmackDown Survivor Series team match. So what? Moving on. Let's just move on. Because I don't know what the hell I don't think anybody knows what they're doing. So we go on backstage where we see Sami Zayn with Nakamura trying to once again recruit Daniel Bryan into the stable. And Sami's all like, will you give us your final answer? Will you join us? You need us. And Bryan's like, okay, if you really wanted me on your team, why didn't you help me last week when the Fiend attacked me? And Sami's all like, I thought you were right behind me, man. And then Bryan's like, why don't you get Braun Strowman instead? Leave me alone. And then he's all like, well, Braun Strowman is stupid. And then Braun Strowman walks in and he's all like, I was just kidding. And then Nakamura stares him down. Ooh, a tease. Strowman versus Nakamura. I gotta ask this real quick. I don't know how long this has been going on. It's been going on for a while. But how long do they plan on keeping Sami Zayn as a manager? I thought this was supposed to be temporary because he was hurt. I get that they kept him in this role because he was hurt and he couldn't wrestle. But he's cleared now. He can wrestle again. So, can we end this? Because it makes no sense for Sami Zayn, who is literally one of the best wrestlers in the world. Not in WWE, in the world. Period. Why he's not wrestling inside the ring. I don't get that. Explain that to me, please. Well, he's a good manager. No, he's not. He's not. This is not what he's meant to be. Quite frankly, I'm wondering why Nakamura is listening to Sami Zayn to begin with. What is Sami Zayn offering Nakamura? See, the whole point of having a manager is for the manager to benefit the wrestler in some way. Bobby the Brain Heenan, the Brain Heenan, was a master manipulator. He was a con artist. He was a cheater. He knew how to help the wrestlers win and be successful. Okay? Sensational Sherry. Great looking woman who did the exact same thing. Sami Zayn, okay, he helps Nakamura. He cheats, but in terms of, like, services, like, you can see why Paul Heyman needs Brock Lesnar. I mean, Paul Heyman is the greatest promoter, greatest businessman, one of the greatest, writers, but one of the greatest personalities to ever enter wrestling. Like, it makes sense for Brock Lesnar to be associated with Paul Heyman. Why is Sami Zayn associated with Nakamura? Someone you probably said, well, because they had an excellent match on NXT. That's it. That's all we got. They had an excellent match with NXT, and so now just if you're gonna have Sami Zayn be a manager for what, Cesaro and Nakamura, apparently he's doing a freaking faction now. Can we get something going for Sami Zayn to where we can believe, all right, this is why you're my you're on my team, you're my client. Because right now it just feels like he's just a manager because they really had nothing else to do for him. And if that's the case, send him back to NXT. Triple H just got done talking about this on Corey Graves' podcast. There are too many wrestlers on the main roster with no direction. So instead of just leaving them in catering, send them back to NXT, where we can use them and keep them relevant. Why not? Sami Zayn going back to NXT? Holy crap! Let's do it. But no, let's use him in a managerial role that's doing nothing for anybody. It really isn't, but okay, he has TV time, right? The same thing with Shorty Gable. I can't believe I even called him that. It's Shorty G, not even Shorty Gable. Whatever. Same thing with Chad Gable. This gimmick sucks. It's stupid. It makes him into a joke. But hey, it's alright. He's getting TV time, right? Because that's what matters. To X-Man, at least he's getting TV time. Is it worth it, though? And by the way, after this podcast is done, I might do one more short podcast when it comes to Rusev. Because we got to talk about him. So stay tuned. I'll let you know what I'm going to do. Anyways, let's get the rest of this crap out the way. New Day's match with the Revival was next. It was a nice match, and like I said, that was the invasion angle, so I'm not going to hate on that. That was actually pretty good. Heavy Machinery ended up beating some two jobbers. Was it Francis Kip Stevens and Kevin Tibbs? Okay. Well, okay. And then we got the invasion angle, and then we got the main event segment, right? Yeah. So, again, there was a lot of stuff on this show that was just, nah, bruh. The good stuff, you know, the NXT invasion and then Bryan's segment with Bray Wyatt at the end, you know, that was good enough to at least warrant me watching the 2 hours. But the problem is, when you take that out, when you take away the NXT invasion, which will happen after next week, you're not going to have the NXT invasion. The only good thing about the show was the Fiend and Bryan. That's not good. That's not a good look on your show. What is SmackDown going to do after this is all done? This whole Survivor Series thing. So, good luck figuring that out. I will say this, though. Just to be fair, I am extremely excited for Survivor Series. You would have to really try to make that show suck. Because listen, all they've done with Survivor Series is taking all their best talent and thrown them on the show. Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio. Roderick Strong, AJ Styles, and Nakamura. Like, you just took all your best talent and just threw them together. Adam Cole is going to be on... I think we're doing Adam Cole's going to be on Team NXT, right? Yeah, Team NXT featuring Adam Cole and some other NXT talent taking on Seth Rollins and Team Raw and Roman Reigns and Team SmackDown. Like, it's going to be very hard to hate that match. I don't like some of the people's gimmicks in that match, but it's going to be hard to hate that match. And then the main event, more than likely, is going to be Bryan versus The Fiend? Like, you would have to try. And that's, yes, the women's NXT match too. You would really, really have to try. Really have to try to make this show suck. Otherwise, it's going to be a fun show. So, despite SmackDown being lackluster, I am looking forward to Survivor Series. And what else they do next week. Because next week is the go-home week, the go-home shows for NXT TakeOver and Survivor Series. So I look forward to seeing what they do with that. Okay, so that's my review on SmackDown. Again, very underrated, very underwhelming, not underrated, underwhelming show. But the segments that were good, the NXT stuff, and then the final segment, I feel like, okay, it made it at least worth my time. But I'm not going to go back and watch it. So if I was to give it a grade, C. C is fair. Right there right dead center, C. Average show. Now imagine if we didn't have NXT on the show. How bad would it be? But NXT in the main event gave it a C. Passable. Alright, so Super Chats are back on. Give me your thoughts about everything I talked about. Let's give some time to the live chat. Alright, Firestar Heart says, you'll see me in it too because I own it. Huh? What y'all talking about? Heavy J says, Dakota will turn on NXT and join the main roster. You funny. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Aren't all three of them heels? Thought it kind of makes no sense. Who are we talking about? Let's see here. Oh, I don't know what everybody's talking about. Everybody's just kind of randomly speaking about something else. Alright, well, if that's the case, tell you guys what. I'm going to be back up here in just a couple of minutes. I do want to have a quick podcast about Rusev, because Rusev recently came out and said some stuff about the fans that I need to have a little conversation with him about. So, here's what I want. Everyone here in the live chat, leave a comment after the video is up answering this question. First off, I'll give you two. First question is, what was your favorite segment tonight and why? 2, which team do you think will win at Survivor Series? NXT, SmackDown, or Raw? That is my question to you. Favorite segment of the night? I think we all know, but I'm still asking. And which team do you think will win at Survivor Series? But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you for making me a part of your day. Thank you for all the awesome donations. I will see you guys in just a second for more, a lot more, wrestling talk here in my channel. So, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good day. Your boy, The Last Man, signing off right here in The Last Man's World. I'm out. Peace.